Let me say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Those of you viewing us via GBN TV, good morning to you also. Let me say good morning to those of you also via social media platforms, their Facebook page, YouTube channels. Good morning. Welcome. It's To The Point. Today being Thursday, the 21st day of November. I'm your host, GT. Good morning to you once again. And you know what happens on a Thursday here on To The Point? We usually host various departments within the RGPF. And today we do have the Lastly task force with us this morning, and let me see if I get the officer's name right this morning. You know me and names already, folks. So we have with us Officer Gavin Colville. Gavin Colville, correct? We have Real Constable Akel Keto. Both of us. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and welcome to the program this morning. How is everybody doing?
Not too bad. Pleasant good morning to you, GT, and pleasant good morning to the listening public and viewers as well.
Our conversation this morning will be on pre-elasticity. And it's always been that concern, especially from folks who farmers and so forth, that affected by the individual saying it in the common way of saying it, I should say. Folks coming and take your stuff. Yes. That's what we say in the common language or everyday conversation we have. So if I had to start it off this morning, and there are probably listeners and viewers who are listening to the conversation this morning, and pretty elastic. What really is pretty elastic? Even the question has been asked. And if somebody say, well, they may not think of it in that particular terminology. So explain to us, what is pretty elastic? I'm not sure which one we're going to take the option of.
All right, pretty elastic is any fruit or plant that is detached from its natural growing inhabitant.
As simple as that.
Yes.
Any fruit or plant that is detached from its natural habitat.
Yeah. So
I have a pear tree in the back of my house, and someone takes it. It's considered pretty elastic.
It is.
All right, great. Simple way of doing it. Now, if someone takes someone's property of that nature or plants that they have that's grown, so maybe I should rephrase my question how I want to say it. Is pretty elastic only done in someone removing that fruit or plant? Is that a law that's just considered pretty elastic?
No, it's not. Stealing of
anything that is stolen from
anything
someone.
That is stolen, the way produce is concerned, is considered pretty elastic.
As that goes along the line of livestock also?
Yes, it falls under pretty elastic as well.
All right. It's interesting to know. Now, what is stock trespass? If I could ask this question.
I'll pass that on to Officer Keto. I don't want to take all the for myself.
Officer Keto seems to be just settled back quietly this morning. So what is stock trespass?
All right, stock trespass is any animal that is considered a goat, sheep, donkey, anything classified as livestock that is benefit for farmers, for the ingrowing of the country. Yeah. So any animal that is trespassed onto other one's property considered as stock trespass.
So under the circumstances, how could someone be distressed by that in particular?
Okay, so if farming is concerned, animal trespass, maybe eating any crops or damage or trample, considered as stock trespass.
So if I have to ask a silly question, could an animal be charged for pretty elastic? Could someone animals get into trouble by, let's say for example someone owns cows, sheep, for example, and have them not properly tied up, we would say locally, and goes into someone else's property and distress them in that way,
cause damage,
removing how do you hold
that is considered damage to crops.
Damage to crops.
Yes.
This is a movie for that.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's get into the laws that would, of course, that's relating to these particular offenses. Let's kick it off how the law says as relates to pretty elastic. Let's go with that. The laws that relates to that.
Well, the laws relating to pretty elastic, you can either be fined or be imprisonment under the section of the law that governs pretty elastic. Right? So in that sense, in that aspect, I will just tell you. So it's under Chapter 250 of the Pretty Elastic Act. Offense related to death, destruction or agricultural produce and livestock, receiving stolen goods and trespassing livestock below in an overview of the key terms, legal provisions and additional insight. Right. So as I just mentioned, pretty larceny, you could either be fined or you can be imposed to prison for maybe up to 2 years. Based on the offense, based on the nature of the offense, being a regular offender or first-time offender. So a first-time offender is likely you could be fined, or well, as it could be imprisonment.
Let's talk a wee bit, of course, we just spoke about the laws that it relates to that. What are some of the challenges that the Pretty Lassie Task Force is encountering, especially when it comes to Pretty Lassie? What are some of the challenges that you're experiencing?
Well, if I may say, for the past couple months, we have received a number of reports, and we are faced with numerous challenges in terms of stealing of livestock. That has been an increase to one of our problems that we've been encountering within the department.
So livestock seems to be the one that is most prevalent for now.
Well,
some of the challenges?
I would say after the passage of burial, we would have seen an increase in the stealing of livestock.
Yeah.
Because remember, majority of the produce, when you consider banana, plantains, and tomato and cabbages, lettuce in some of the outer parishes had been destroyed.
Yes.
So you wouldn't really find heavy stealing of provision and stuff.
They are unavailable.
Because the unavailability of it. But in terms of livestock, majority of animals are still alive. They was not destroyed by burial, during burial. No animals the animals may have passed, but not to a large amount, if I may say. So you'll find the stealing of livestock had increased for the past couple of months.
Advice you would like to give out, especially owners of livestock, as you speak, who has been one of the challenges you have in the folks losing that. What kind of advice would you like to throw out to them this morning, owners of livestock, in terms of protecting their livestock?
Well, one of the key elements that we had discussed among ourselves within the department, and something that we always try to ask livestock holders, is to try to mark your animals, tag it in a way, and have it secured properly. So then by any means of the animal being stolen, there's always something that you can identify it by. Because some years ago, there used to Ministry of Health used to pass, and they will tag your dog. If your dog get away, then your dog have a special collar tag, so you could say, well, identify your dog by that means. But now, you don't find nobody come in and take the initiative to at least, put their tag on the animal. And, we are the Pretty Lassie department. So we've been faced with challenges, because, we'll come on the radio, we'll visit farmers as well. We'll have TV programs. As you know, GT, I'm not new to this.
Yes.
But, when we go outside, we try to, advise the farmers, listen, this is a way that you can do to solve the problem. But, it still happens, so persons and farmers that do in livestock have to take the initiative, to see as how best they can come up to secure their livestock as well. Right. Because we are the Pretty Lassie department. Yes, we will respond to the reports, but we cannot do it without your help.
It's kind of have me mind boggling a wee bit to thinking about when you see the option of tagging, because tagging, is it something physical they could put on the animal, printed number or something of the sort?
I saw something called heat tag.
So, but do you find livestock owners in Grenada having that particular practice?
Not necessarily.
They're not doing that.
All I know, some of them know, all they know is that they just rain animals, and animal company say they call the department. And then you go on the board like you're on a witch hunt.
Because they expect the department to just solve the problem. But then sometimes it's very difficult, because you miss an animal sometimes. Yes, animal may be missing in the day, as well as animal could be stolen at night. But majority of the time, when sometimes animal complaints come into the department of animal being stolen or they missing an animal during the daytime. Later on, sometimes, when we go outside there to assist, while we're outside, trying to assist to cover that problem, then we'll get a phone call. Sometimes the animal gets away and they find it with others as well. So there's a lot for us in the department.
All right. We're due for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we continue with the conversation, folks. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We're due for a short break. When we come back, we continue. Stay with us. Don't touch your dial.
Presenting. Tourism is me. Tourism is you. Tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitate cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Blast Gaming is where dreams come true and jackpots are won. Dive into a world of delightful experiences and daring action. From the moment you step through the doors, have the time of your life, feel the energy, soak in the excitement, and let the good times roll. Blast is more than just a place to play. It's where friends socialize, cocktails flow, and a safe space for those who dream big and dare to have fun while doing it. Blast Gaming.
Grenada Duty Free and GBN, we're partnering for this Christmas season. Folks, it's going to be a bumper one. We can actually start feeling the energy, the vibe will start building, the promotions that start coming in, and the fragrances, the chocolate. We have up 15%, 20%, 40%. It's going to be a crazy one. We are looking forward to seeing you. We are ready to treat you guys special. We are ready to give back to you after this whole year of, being with us and everything and the support. So with our partnership with GBN, it's going to be a bumper season. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Proud sponsors of Christmas with the GBN includes Ace Hardware, Hubbards, Flow, Duty Free Caribbean, and I'm Supportings.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point for today, Thursday, the 21st of November. And with us this morning, we have members of the Pridia Lassini Task Force with us this morning. And we're talking Pridia Lassini, talking of ways in which, of course, we could counteract the challenges that come across in folks losing their crops, their livestock, and so forth. We want to spend some time talking about the enforcement procedures that will take place, especially when it comes to individuals losing their livestock or their fruits and vegetables that we would say locally have been stolen and so forth. What are that enforcement procedures that you have to go through when it comes to that? Who's going to take up the mantle on that? Welcome back.
Yes, well, in that aspect, once a report is being made of stealing of livestock or produce, we members of the department will carry out an investigation. If there is a suspect, we will carry out an investigation, and once that person has been arrested or detained by us, then we'll carry out the investigation, as I said, and then based on the interview, because we have to do an interview, and based on the interview or question, as you say, we'll be questioning that person. Based on once we find sufficient evidence to charge that person will be charged and will be taken to court.
So it starts where that farmer or a livestock owner who they consider that their whatever they had has been lost.
Yes.
Whether it's their cow, their sheep, their goat, whatever has been lost. They call in the Pridia Lassini Task Force.
Yes, and then we will go out and carry out our investigation. If there is a suspect, as I said, we'll go there and carry out our investigation. Once we we'll try to get where that suspect live and stuff like that, and then we gather all the information that is necessary.
What is the individual entitled to do first in when they suspect that their whatever the property of theirs is lost? How does that procedure rolls?
Well, what majority of the times what farmers usually do, or persons who lose livestock, I should say, they usually try to carry out their own investigation, try to do the groundwork and get the information, and then they will call us. And
is that the best way to go?
Well, sometimes it is. It is, because sometimes you someone that losing a livestock, say a cow, which costs a large amount of money. So sometimes at the time you will try to see what information you could get to who you see pass with a cow on a truck, you see pass walking with a cow, and then you will relate to the police. Or sometimes people just call directly without even doing anything by themselves.
I guess you will not encourage them to take the matters into their own hands.
No.
All right. You want to expand on that, of course?
Yeah, so it's something. You also have something like called unlawful possession.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't receive any calls, but we normally do our routine check, like vendor check. Sometimes we pass on the road and we saw an individual with a bag or carrying agricultural produce. So, it's something called unlawful possession.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot give a good account of how you came in possession thereof. So we question that person, take the person into the station, question the person in relation to that. If they cannot give a good account, then they be arrested and charged for the offense of unlawful possession.
Now, let's speak a wee bit in terms of the extent and the effects that this is causing, especially on individuals. We understand first and foremost there's financial implications already. An individual may be growing their fruits in their farms and so forth. The financial aspect of that is deteriorated because that's a loss for them.
Yes.
Folks having livestock, as you mentioned, cows, sheep, goats, whatever they have, that has been stolen. And most time the perpetrators may not keep it for themselves. That has been sold also, maybe at a lower rate than it should actually be sold for. So let's talk a wee bit about the effects and to the extent of the effect that this particular problem of pretty elastic is causing.
Well, pretty elastic is causing a serious effect on farmers, and what you will find maybe in recent years or up to this time presently, that farmers have been, yes, they will be very disgruntled. So, and upset when the stuff happens. And we are a small unit, but we always try our best and try to reach out there as much as we can to assist and to please, the public in any way possible, because we know that's what we do. Mm-hmm. And they're looking forward for us to solve that problem or to help them or assist them in any way possible. So what you find happening for the past couple of times that farmers usually they complain, but sometimes we are members of the department. Sometimes when they complain, we're not at the station at the time, and so then that information is not being channeled down to us. So they feel contacting the police or contacting the department is a waste. So sometimes they go by themselves and try to take the law in their own hands by injecting, maybe putting needles or wires into the provision and stuff.
It's highly not recommended.
It's not.
Yeah.
But when you do that, you endanger the life of others.
Yes.
Because sometimes the person who steals that particular produce, they don't use it for themselves. So you could endanger the life of one person, or whereby you can endanger the life of a whole family. So we always try our best to reach out as much as possible to the general public in rendering our assistance.
You want to extend on that a little bit in terms of the extent of the problem and the effects of the problem?
Yeah, as my colleague said, we are in contain a lot, right? We are in contain a lot on that. So it's not much I could say on that because he's not much, but he emphasis on that. So we urging farmers, please don't inject any produce or so, because remember it can end up to a supermarket or it can end up on the agricultural port where they export to Trinidad, and it's a big loss for Grenada on a whole. So we encourage farmers not to do such act.
I mean, it's interesting to note, because some farmers may just get so distressed by the issue and just feel, well, this is what I should do. You understand? This is what I should do because I'm continually losing my watermelons. I'm losing my whatever I'm losing on a regular basis. And they may say, well, I'm calling the pretty Tesla force and I'm not getting the assistance that I need. You understand? I'm not getting the assistance. Because that's usually the complaints you hear.
Yeah, that's what sometimes they say, they don't call any police because they call the police and the police never come. But as I rightfully said a while ago, sometimes that information, yes, you may contact the police, but you have to contact the pretty last in the department. Because we are the unit that is responsible for that kind of matters on them.
Now that you mentioned that, maybe you could have. Is there a direct number that you can call the pretty last?
Well, there's not a direct line per se, but when you contact the station, you ask them to put you onto the pretty last. Yes. So
and
there's an one of the officers. One of the officers will be. We always have someone in the office that will take that complaint. If we are out, that person will relate to us. Or if if all of us is out and no one is at the office, sometimes we be contacted that look, that report comes in from that area, and we get the person name and everything, and we contact them and we respond to it, because sometimes not every day we will be in office. We always try to be out there to let the people feel us and see our presence.
What are the most trouble spots you would say there is on island in Grenada in relation to pretty larceny?
Well, it's not one place, It's island-wide something, and farmers have been affected island-wide.
Island-wide.
Yes, so I cannot say there's one particular place that you can section and say this place is immune for pretty larceny. No, it's an island-wide something. So, it's not just one place. It's not, I would say, like it's heavy in St. George's or it's heavy in St. David's. No, it's island-wide.
It's
Everybody
island-wide.
faced with serious pretty larceny problems island-wide.
All right. I understand.
And he also, persons also stated that sometimes when you call the police, you're not getting any response. If instance that you cannot get in touch with the pretty larceny department, you can call the Ministry of Agriculture.
Yeah.
And they will forward that information to us.
All right. Well, I certainly hope folks who have been running into that particular difficulty in terms of getting in contact will be find these other channels, because there's always another channel that you could go through that will offer the assistance that is certainly needed. All right. It's interesting to know. Hey, folks, don't forget we can also accommodate your calls this morning. If you do have a question or two you may like to ask the officers in relation to pretty larceny, and you may want some clarification in terms of the procedure that you may like to go through, feel free to do so this morning. I think we do have our first caller. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Good morning. And I'm calling as somebody who is not even a farmer, but just hearing, I have had people come to me, relatives and a few good friends, complaining about this whole business of pretty larceny, of animals coming on their farms and everything. And of course, as one of the officers has said, the pretty larceny unit is a small one. Perhaps that needs to be addressed. 1. 2, maybe other departments can complement the pretty larceny unit so that patrols can be done in various areas that are known to be trouble spots. I've heard the officers say it's an island-wide something, but I'm sure there must be some hot spots that need to be patrolled. And the laws for offenders, those need to be reviewed, and maybe those who are caught in the act of pretty larceny put on some of the farms to work the very land that they've been thieving from. The animals, maybe those animals could be sold or something like that to compensate farmers for their losses. Things like that. I think an extra serious look really needs to be taken, and the more the offenders get to feel the heat of their offenses, they will rethink before going to steal somebody else's produce or be careless about where their livestock go in order to get onto a farmer's land and start eating produce. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. I appreciate your contribution this morning. Thank you. In reference to the caller, any response to the caller?
Well, I personally concur with the caller and what has been said.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I will just show that point in terms of he mentioned about the animal being trespassing on somebody's property. As he said, you have relatives that come and complain in terms of animals coming onto the property and eating the crops and stuff. So in that aspect, an animal coming onto your property and eating your crops, let's say maybe a banana plant or your coconut tree, or whatever crops it may be, you as the person or the owner of that property can impound that animal.
Yeah.
But there is procedures that follow with impounding that animals. So when you impound that animal, you have to ensure that that animal remain in the good care and health that you impound it in. Okay. If that animal were to die in your care, you have to pay twice times the value. Okay. So as well as if you want to impound the animal, you can do so. And as I said, if that animal were to die in your care, you have to ensure that that animal has been properly fed, carefully cared for. Yeah. You're supposed to get food and water and everything that is necessary to keep it in a good condition that you impound it in. Mm-hmm. But if you were to die in your care, you have to pay twice times the value. Mm-hmm. As well as you can contact the department, and if you feel that you're not in a position that you will be able to see after the animal, you can contact the department and we will respond to you. We will take that animal into the pond. And there's only one pond, which is a prison. Yeah. That's where we house any animal that is being impounded. But when that animal is reached at the prison, every day that animal spends, you have to pay $25.
And that's for the individual who impounded it?
Well,
or
owner to get it back. So every day it's spent at the prison, $25 per day.
All right.
You know, so we always try to reach out to persons, you know, to try to curb the problem by, you know, finding the owner of the animal and letting them know that that animal is being impounded and it's been impounded by the owner of that land. And, you know, sometimes, but he always come and try to, like, I should say, problems try to will come in that aspect. Because sometimes the person feel that, okay, Keto may impound my animal and feel that, okay, yes, Keto is my animal, and he might want to confront Keto. You know, so we, as the Penal Assassin Department, the best thing we try to do is try to take that animal into the pond to avoid the confrontation.
What, I mean, if I had to ask a question, now, what happens when the animal has been impounded and the owner now does not want to take the responsibility of the animal?
Well, on that point, after the animal has been impounded and after 90 days, the animal automatically becomes a state-owned.
State-owned.
Yes.
Okay.
So just the same way, if the person that impounded have it in their care for 90 days, automatically it comes to them own as well for compensation.
Okay. Interesting to know. Well, I should start impounding something. Anyway, folks, we're due for a break. When we come back, we take more of your calls and we, of course, continue the discussion here. It's to the point. We'll be right back after the break. Don't touch your dial.
Brett Thompson in collaboration.
Hello, everybody. My name is Renee Goodwin, and I am the marketing manager here at True Blue Bay Resort. And I am so excited to invite you all to join us every Thursday on GBN, starting from November 7th, as we count down to the holiday season, right here at True Blue Bay Resort, Grenada's best family-friendly resort for visitors and locals.
Welcome back once again. Welcome back to listeners. Welcome back viewers. Welcome back officers of the program. It's to the point here this morning, and we do have members of the Prettier Larceny Task Force with us this morning here on the program. And in this segment, folks, we're inviting your calls. Some of you listeners and viewers out there, if you do have a question or two that you may like to ask, I beg of you to keep your comments a bit short. If you do want to extend a comment or how you like to ask the officers a question, feel free to do so. Let's take this caller in this segment. Caller, good morning. You're welcome. Caller, good morning.
Hello. Let me ask this. I would like to know if the Prettier and Larceny Force or even the police have ideas or have knowledge of who are the most rampant, or the people are the most rampant stealers, who steal goats, who steal sheep, who possibly steal vehicles, and they have an eye, if they shouldn't have an eye on them. And then this will give them better knowledge and better skill to approach or to suspect who took the gun. And are they entitled, to some extent, questioning somebody or the person who seem to be regular stealers of anything, if they have the right to question them when they see them with anything they suspect seem to be illegal or stolen. What you could tell me that's going good Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your call. Respond to the caller.
Yes, the law gives us authority to question any individual that we suspect is indulging in agriculture crimes or pretty larceny crime.
Okay.
So we have authority to question anyone.
All right.
And we also have authority to search any premises that we suspect that has agriculture produce, stolen agriculture produce.
Okay. Caller, good morning. You're welcome and you're live.
Just cool.
Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Hello.
Caller, you are live. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
Caller, you are live. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Yeah, well, what I'm seeing, that it has people that always commit with their larceny. And they have stall aside the road. Why the police does not question them about where they get the product from? Who give them that? Or believe they bring the police in the property where they get it? And the police and the pre-larceny squad know them. We don't have Kirani, Jim, Bolivar, and you go see both of them, one by Port Louis and the other one by Foodland. You go see them. They never plant a potato yet, but they have potato selling. They never plant a corn, but they have corn selling. On an everyday basis. I save a man from killing one day a day. I just save him because the man now, I say he acts too harsh. You understand? I wish they could pull up on these fellas, man. You're planting your thing and these men just come in and take it and go with it. And
thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 4352041. I guess any response to the call? I'm not sure if you want to respond to.
Yes, well, I heard the caller speak of you want the pre-larceny task force to check those people that has been selling by the road. Yes, we does. We usually does check those persons that sell by the road, many like a stall, careless, whatever table they may set up. We usually check them, and there is something that, as I said, in checking those persons, they must have a receipt or say how they come in the goods thereof. Failing to produce a receipt, which is a memorandum of sale, you could be arrested and charged for unlawful possession because you cannot give a good account of how you came in possession thereof.
Okay. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling to agree with the former caller because I was just about to suggest that investigation need to be made at the point of sale. For example, supermarkets, or vendors on the streets, the small booths that sell fruits and vegetables throughout the island, asking them for their source of the produce. Because once there is a demand for pretty items that are stolen, then there would always be a supply. So then there needs to be greater investigation of all the vendors who sell things, the points of sale, even the places, even the points of trafficking, of sending the items to Trinidad. That's where the pre-larceny, one of the ways they can track persons who are stealing items. That's my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I appreciate your call. 4352041. Any response to that, caller?
Yes, well, we usually make port check as well, and we usually make vendors check. Check the market vendors. Find out where they get the produce, and in doing so, once you have produce that is mounting to over 15 pounds, you must have a receipt to show that you purchased that from that farmer. If you cannot show that receipt, then, as I said, you will be charged for unlawful possession because you cannot give a good account of how you came in possession thereof. We also do supermarket checks, and what we advise the persons in supermarkets or small shops who want to sell produce is to try to purchase your stuff from legitimate farmers. Yeah, right. Farmers who are registered. So we always try to go there to let the patrols and roadside vending stops and such and stuff. We always try to let them know this is the procedure and this is what is required from you.
Is there also the option where if someone says, because folks are very skillful in terms of what they do things these days, is there the option when someone said, I have purchased from Farmer Cato Like, is there option of going in contact with Farmer Cato and saying that Farmer Cato did the GT purchase from you? Is that a process that goes through also?
Yes, we do.
All right, do that also.
Yeah, we do because sometimes a person don't have farmer's ID, but they are farming on a large scale. But once we check the receipt and we say, all right, we purchased from X, Y, and Z, we check the farms and see what is had on the farm, then.
All right. Because someone may have, anyone can make a receipt or an invoice these days, right? And just use someone's name on it.
And to add to my colleague here, sometimes we normally do market checks.
Okay.
We know who are the regular farmers or vendors. So once we see someone new is vending, we go question that person in relation to where you get the produce from.
Okay, great. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Hey, gentlemen.
Good morning. Go right ahead, please.
How you all doing, bros? That's a very good program. And listen, hats off to you all, man. Mr. Colville, you all are so versed in this thing, man. Where did you all get this education from? and Papa, you see me and goat meat? I don't want no goat meat. Not since after it's alleged. A lot of my colleagues went down because of goat meat, stolen meat. So you have to warn people that they should not take any animal meat to be eaten except from the legitimate livestock farmer, right? Mr. Colville, I'm wondering if you might have an answer for this one. What if someone has some stolen goods and has hidden it in my property? All right, is there a charge for me? Is that under aiding and abetting? What is your response, sir? Continue. That's a very good program, and you all are very versed. Thank you. Grenada has such a fine human resources. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, caller. I appreciate your call. Respond to the caller.
There is not a charge for you finding produce in your land that is hidden by someone. If you know that the person who hid the produce there, you contact the department, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning. I respect all what Larceny, Force, and others have said. But could you give me some statistics as to, if you have it, as to how many people you held because by people been reporting to them, or how many of those you got while making research in the market or on the byway for the year or for the month? And then I would say, you all are good. You all are doing your work because you are holding people, and they are paying for the sins. And how many you are brought to the court and get justice? Once you tell me that, I'll say kudos to you all.
Thank you, caller. Respond to the caller. He wants some stats.
In that aspect, I cannot give a straight figure as to, but persons had been arrested, and it's not every time right away a person being arrested, you just bring him to court. So persons had been arrested and persons are on bail awaiting the hearing of the court matter.
Okay. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Thank you very much. My name is Michael Andrews. I have 3 acres of land in Post Royal, and I would like some protection in there. I lost a leg and I have 1 foot, but I still tend to my lands. There are 2 farmers up there that give me a lot of problems. I can call one named Stanford. I have some documents in my hand where he owes me $300 and something. He has admitted to pay, and when I went to him to collect the money, he decided, I probably whatever it is, take him to court. And then there's a woman living on that said road going inside there. I have always seen her in my lands. I need some protection, please, because she's threatening me. She's on cocaine and she's threatening me. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. I guess maybe something you could look into, if not looking into already.
Well, as I said, there's a department. We are responsible for St. George's. So in that aspect, I can always contact Grenville and find out for this person while on the program, this person would have called and make a complaint.
Okay.
So maybe they could look into it, but.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to leave. I wouldn't be able to leave my jurisdiction and go to another jurisdiction to attend to another complaint because
if it's only assigned from the Commissioner of Police.
Okay, understandably so. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, and how are you?
We're doing good. All
right. Listen to me. I want to know the seed program, they use delivering it in the back.
Caller, I think, caller, good morning. I think you're probably calling for a totally different conversation. We're not talking on that level this morning, all right?
Oh, boy.
Okay. All right. I think the caller is calling on a differentiation there for now. But we drew for a break. Let's take it when we come back. We come back into the final segment. Probably take another call or two and we get some closing contributions from you folks. Hey, folks, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't touch your dial. It's To The Point. Classic Radio, GBN TV.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein?
I'm Kenroy Batiste from GBN News. Season's greetings, everyone. Wishing you the very best for the holiday season. Spend time with each other, be good to each other, and celebrate each other. Looking ahead to 2025, my wish is for love, joy, and peace to reign in your life. Go forth, do more, and be more. You are loved.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Welcome back once again. Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers. To The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. And we're talking Prettier Lasny this morning. And we do have members of the Prettier Lasny Task Force with us this morning. And the next segment, we're going to take a couple more of your calls. Of course, with questions that you may like to ask in relation to Prettier Lasny, feel free to do it in this segment. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go right ahead.
Question for the team. How many years now has this previous Lasny thing been going on? As far as you could count. 20, 40, 50 years now? How many years have this been going on?
You need to respond now, or you want the officers to...
I'd like to get an idea, because you know what happened? As far as I'm concerned, I'm in my 60s. And I've been hearing about this thing since then. And to me, it's getting worse. So that means nothing is being done. It is all talk. All talk. Nothing is being done. Maybe one or two things among the people who own their farms. They take the law in their hands. But other than that, it's garbage. Nothing is being done, and nothing will be done. Take my word for it. I need to go on for the next 100 years, and nothing will be done about this previous Lasny nonsense. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Would you agree with the caller or not agree with the caller?
Well, as I said before, pre-Lasny is you gotta be able to solve all the problem at the same time, but we try our best to solve the most problem as possible.
Okay. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, you are live. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Right, good. Now, the officer is talking about the people who have license and who have license. But you see, what you have to study, the people without license, some of them thieving and selling to the people who have license. So that could be detrimental for the people who buy in the supermarket and other places. You have to be very careful with that. This thing does go on. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. I guess the caller have some relevance there, right?
Yes, but as I said, some have IDs and some don't.
Yeah.
But if I am a young farmer that's trying to, do some farming and stuff, and like I want to sell produce or so, as my colleague say, once the person who buying the produce from you could say, all right, I bought it from Mr. John. Mr. John have X and X acreage, but he doesn't have an ID. It is much acceptable.
Yeah.
But
I understand what the caller is because he's acting in relation to folks who don't have a license.
Because he's saying that
selling to
farmers
who has a license, and he's those selling maybe to supermarkets or coming in the market.
I mean, it's a valid point, and as he rightfully said, it could be detrimental because you purchasing something from. And I will say it happens.
Yeah.
Farmers purchase stuff from people and then they go sell it. So it's a serious problem.
And it's gonna become doubtful to say, individual X has a license. So
exactly.
when maybe he has a license, but maybe he doesn't have the state of the produce at the time.
Yes.
So it's okay to purchase from him.
Right. So what we encourage what we encourage is that persons who have IDs, family ID, it's easier to purchase from them, but sometimes the person have ID, but sometimes they're not doing any farming anymore, but they also have produce. So it's a give and take situation. So
so understandably so. But because we get into that time of the morning, let's get some closing contributions this morning. Of course, I've tried some more advice to folks outside there about the do's and don'ts.
There's two points I would just like to touch on before we close off. Earlier on the caller before said about animals being poisoned and stuff. And what we advise persons is to people purchasing animals for fat and other stuff, birthday parties and anything like that. We always try to reach out to persons and tell them buy from persons that that rare animals.
Okay.
So buy from a legitimate livestock farmer. Because that person could come into you and tell you, oh, I have 2 goats, you want a goat to buy? And you may go and buy that goat. And it's not about people poisoning animal. There is a medication that livestock farmers give the animal. And once you, as the human being, use that animal within that certain time, and that medication is not wear out, automatically you could be affected. You could be affected. So these are one of the things that we try to do. And another point we didn't touch on is persons receiving produce, as I said, dishonestly receiving, knowing that person does not have any land or is not doing any farming, and you purchase stuff from that person, you can be punished. And that offense carries a maximum of $3,000 to $10,000 up to 24 months in prison for dishonestly receiving. So we advise persons outside there, be mindful of who you're purchasing stuff from. As I rightfully said before, try to purchase stuff from legitimate farmers, and we'll try to do our best, but it's only your best is good enough. There's only so much that we could do. As a farmer, the caller rightfully said before that it wouldn't stop. Nothing would stop. Just like that. But we try our best to curb that problem or put a cease to it. It wouldn't stop, but try to break it down as much as possible.
Try to get that downward curve, as you would say.
Yes. Well, so whatever we have in an increase, we try to have a decrease.
A decrease in that.
Yes.
Looks like you do anything in the final before we take a wrap this morning?
Yeah, so I want to take the time off to thank everybody who participate in the call-in program. As I said, any issues that you have against predalaciny, you can free to call and we can give you more emphasis on that. Right? You can call 440-2244 or 440-2245.
All right, thank you.
And before I leave, I would like to thank the rank and file heads of the Commissioner of Police and members of his team for giving us the opportunity to be on the program this morning and to, share some of the our knowledge with the public. So we look forward to, having more programs like this so we can always sensitize the public and we're going forward.
All right. Obsequito, and of course, at Colville, I want to thank you both for being on the program this morning. I appreciate it. It's one of those programs that we got that heavy feedback, especially from the listening and viewing public this morning. And certainly hope we could more regular come and make a conversation like this, because there's always individuals want to participate and know what's going on, especially come to a situation where pretty elasticity is affecting everyone. No, everyone is affected.
Everyone is being affected by
everyone is affected.
I mean, even you as well is affected, because sometimes you plant your two little thing around your house, and so everyone is affected. No, there is no exception from persons being affected by pre-larceny.
So true. So thank you once again.
Thank you, GT, for having us as well.
Hey folks, that's how we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point for today here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Join us again tomorrow for another edition. Have yourself a good day, folks. That's where we say goodbye.